Holy cow, the Cubs walk it off in the 10th to win their 8th series in the last 11. Welcome back to Holy Cow, the Chicago Cubs show on Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan Channel. Let's get right into this Chicago Cubs 4-game series against the Pittsburgh Pirates at Wrigley Field. The Chicago Cubs took 3 out of 4 games against the Pirates, which some could say shows their ability to grind out wins even when everything ain't clicking. I might say that they were lucky to be playing the worst team in the division while bringing this offensive performance to the ballpark for 4 straight games. Let's break down the whole 4 games one by one. Let's start with Thursday night, 3-2 victory. Even though the Cubs won, the offense was still crazy quiet. 4 hits, 1 walk total in this game. That's it for 9 innings, 4 hits, 1 walk. It just so happens 2 of those hits left the field. Pete Crow Armstrong blasted a moonshot deep into the right field bleachers for a 2-run home run in the 4th inning, his 18th homer of the season, which made him 5th among National League outfielders in that category. Seiya Suzuki followed suit with a solo shot in the 6th inning for his 17th of the season, tying him for 6th in the National League. Those were the only runs the Cubs scored all game. On the mound, Jameson Taillon, tremendous. Once again, he's irreplaceable. 6 and 3rd innings pitched, gave up 2 earned runs on 4 hits while striking out 7 against his former team. This is his 10th quality start of the season. That's already more than he had in his 29 starts in his first season with the Cubs, and he's on pace to beat the 16 he had last season. The bullpen secured the win. Ryan Pressly pitched the 9th inning to get his 5th save. Speaking of Ryan Pressly, did you know he has not given up a single earned run in over a month? The last time he gave up an earned run was that horrendous inning he had against the Giants when he gave up 8 of them bad boys and didn't record a single out. Since then, 14 innings pitched, 12 strikeouts, 1 run, and 3 walks. That's how you change your narrative. Clap it up for Big Dog, because everyone was dogging him the first 2 months of the season. Brad Keller, he did have a rocky 7th inning when he came in relief of Jameson Taillon. He gave up 3 straight hits, hit a batter, walked another batter, but he did manage to strike out O'Neal Cruz with the bases loaded to maintain the lead. Game 2 on Friday, the Cubs lost 2-1 in a frustrating display in a pitcher's duel. This game truly shows where the Cubs are struggling at. It's their situational hitting. Pitching in the pitcher's duel, Pirates threw out their ace, Paul Skeens. Cubs matched with rookie Kay Horton. Skeens pitched 5 scoreless innings, struck out 5. Horton delivered 5 2/3 shutout ball. For everything we talk about the Cubs offense, they did do a good job of chasing Skeens. They got him out of that game in the 5th inning on 95 pitches. However, after Skeens left, they still couldn't do anything. Situational hitting, not good. The best example I can give you of this in this game, 6th inning, 2 runners on, no outs against the bullpen. Dansby Swanson got up, swung at the first pitch. 5-4-3, double play. That's it. Cubs tied the game in the 8th inning when Kyle Tucker scored on a fielder's choice, but they couldn't generate any more. They started the inning with 2 on and no out. And then after that, they got a force out, and they ended up having, and after PCA stole second, they had 2 on in scoring position with 1 out, and they still couldn't score. Pirates scored in the 8th inning due to an errant throw by Brad Keller, and the Cubs went down in order in their half of the 9th and 10th innings. Ultimately, Isaiah Falefa hit a sacrifice fly off Drew Pomeranz in the 10th to get the win for the Pirates. Saturday, the Cubs bounced back in another pitcher's duel. This time with the Cubs offense doing just enough to get that dub. Matthew Boyd, stellar again. 6 innings of one hit, 1 run ball, lowering his ERA to 2.79 on the season. He only gave up 1 solo home run in the first inning, and that was to longtime Pirates superstar Andrew McCutchen. The Cubs' first run came from some small ball. Nico Horner stole second, advanced to third on a ground out, and scored on an Ian Happ sac fly in the 3rd inning. Dansby Swanson later on in the game. Dansby Swanson hit a solo home run in the 6th inning. The Wrigley wind was blowing in, and he smacked that ball right through it. This is a good thing for Swanson because he has been struggling coming into this game all of June. Since June 1st, coming into this game, he was batting .213. Bullpen, excellent again. 3 innings pitched, 4 scattered hits, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, no runs. Pitching was really carrying the offense right now, and I'm sure it'll switch up at some point in the season, and the offense will end up carrying the pitching like it did earlier this season. And that's just the ebbs and flows of a long baseball season. But however, give it up for the bullpen, especially right now, because they've been the best since the 2nd week of May. Game 4. Cubs closed out the series on Sunday with a 3-2 walk-off victory in the 10th inning, securing the series, getting that series win. Colin Ray started for the Cubs, initially struggled in the 1st inning, as you know he is prone to do. But he settled in and delivered a quality start of 6 innings, allowing just those 2 earned runs on 4 hits. This was a big performance for the rotation. One, Colin Ray needed an opener, and he was able to handle the job himself. And the bullpen, once again, dominant. I'll say it again, carrying the Cubs through this offensive slump. They have a baseball best 0.90 ERA since May 14th. Chris Flexen pitched a perfect 10th inning. He stranded the ghost runner at second, and he's now pitched 18 1/3 innings for the Cubs without allowing an earned run. Genesis Cabrera also pitched a scoring 8th inning. Offensively, more of the same. The Cubs fell behind 2-0 in the first, but tied it up in the bottom of the first with RBIs from Seiya Suzuki and Dansby Swanson. The game remained tied until the 10th inning when Ian Happ was able to get a walk-off single. Key takeaways from this series. The Cubs are now 44-28 with a 5-game lead in the division. The starting rotation, led by Jameson Taillon's consistency and Matthew Boyd's impressive ERA of, like I said, 2.79, has been instrumental in picking up the slack while co-aces Justin Steele and Shada Abignaga have been out. Not just the starters, the bullpen continues to be the undisputed strength of this squad. They have been phenoms. I already told you, MLB best 0.90 ERA since May 14th. Flexen, Dan Palencia, Ryan Presley, Genesis Cabrera, all have stepped up in crucial moments during this run. Biggest question mark remains for the squad. Do they need to add a bat before the deadline? It's clear that they're struggling to manufacture runs right now, and they've been relying heavily on home runs. And when those home runs don't come because they just can't get it or the wind's blowing in, they're just not going to score. The team is averaging 2.89 runs per game in the last 9 home games coming into Sunday. And, say all this, they've won 7 of those games. Last thing, there's some good news on the injury front. Shada Abignaga, he's inching close to return. He pitched 4 scoreless innings in a rehab start with the Arizona Complex League team on Saturday and is scheduled for a start with AAA Iowa next Friday. If all goes well, he could be back on Sheffield and Addison before June ends. Just imagine adding he's not hurt from an arm injury. So his arm shouldn't be tired or anything like that. So just imagine putting that arm back in his rotation That's been dogging everybody's back the last month. Can't wait. But in any case, winning 3 out of 4 against any team is a good result, especially when the offense isn't hitting on anything. Cubs have Monday off before starting a series against the Brewers, who now find themselves in second place in the division, as the Cards have now come back to earth after only winning 3 of their last 10. That's all for today's recap of the Cubs Pirates series. Go Cubs.
Thanks for listening to this latest episode from the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan Channel. Don't matter if you listen to this on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or watch it on Twitch or YouTube. Make sure you like, subscribe, share with a friend, hit the notification bell so you never miss a drop. And to all the guys from Chicago, we say 3 things: bear down, go Cubs go, and sell the team, Jerry.